The results are in. Recently, I made a video and I wrote a Reddit post asking for answers on a survey I'd pulled together for Red Dead Online. Basically, what I was looking to find out was what players really think about the game. Do you love it, hate it, or not really care about it anymore? Well, in this video, we're going to be going through all the results of that survey. So without any further ado, let's begin. A total of 618 people responded to this survey. So thanks to every single one of you that took the time out to do that. Question 1. When did you start playing RDR2? So 590 responses on this, and massively, it was day one of release that people started playing this game. 57.3% there. I think what's quite interesting here as well is the amount of people that started playing the game after the Frontier Pursuits update. So that's after the 16th of September 2019. And that's 17.3%. So there are quite a few new players that are playing Red Dead Redemption. Of course, over the last couple of weeks, we'll probably see that number go up with the current circumstances that we're going through at the moment. But that's definitely an interesting stat. Moving on to question 2. What platform do you play/own RDR2 on? Now, the significant outright winner here was the PlayStation 4, and that's sort of understandable, really. There are a lot of PlayStation 4s that wins the race against the Xbox One in terms of the amount that are out there in the world. Of course, there are more PCs in the world, but PC released later on than obviously the consoles did, so we have to consider that as well. Question 3, is RDR2 your most regularly played game? 609 responses, and yes is the 52.7% winner here. Basically a 50-50 split with the 100% Red Dead only players and the people who play other games. So I asked the question, what other games do you play? And there were, as you can see here, there were so many responses to this. The other section's 32.6%. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single one here. The ones that really stood out to me, though, were Minecraft with 16%, Battlefield 12%. GTA came up the absolute top here. Maybe there's some Rockstar fans out there like myself. That was 37.9%. So 38% of the people that took this survey also play GTA. Question number 5. How often do you play Red Dead Redemption 2 on average? Now, every day was the clear winner here, with almost 50% of people saying that they play Red Dead every single day. Multiple times a week comes in second place, which is understandable. Obviously, on YouTube, you're going to capture a market that is playing Red Dead if they're looking at Red Dead videos. They were at 31%, those guys, multiple times a week. And I think something else that's quite interesting as well is the 5.8% of people that don't play it anymore. Of course, we don't have any exact reasons for why people aren't playing it, but maybe later in the questionnaire we'll see a few responses as to maybe why that is. Question 6. When you play RDR2, how often do you play story mode? 33.5% of people said rarely. Me, myself, I'm a never now, actually. I haven't been back to the story mode since I completed the last chapter of the epilogue. So my attention, like a lot of others it seems, has really moved on to Red Dead Online. Next question. When you play RDR2, how often do you play online? Overwhelmingly here with over 60% is the every time. That is me. Every time I go on Red Dead, I do play online. That's my main focus. And I'm not really surprised by this, to be fair. And in second place there is often at 19.5%. Okay, now on to the juicy one. How often do you typically disconnect in a 2-hour playing session? We hear stories all the time of people saying the disconnection issues are rife, and this is basically what this question was trying to find out. Let's get some data behind it, see actually how many people this is affecting. And the blue section here, the never section, that's 34.5% of people never disconnect when they're playing a 2-hour session. But what beats that is the 41.6% of people that disconnect at least once. 2 or 3 times there, unfortunately, is at almost 17% as well, which is disappointing, with 4 to 6 times coming in a 4th place there. So there is some weight to those concerns in terms of disconnections. And as we've all known for a long time, this is still an issue that Rockstar really haven't properly addressed and fixed. Next question. In what way do you play most often? Overwhelmingly here, maybe this is a bit of a shame, solo is the way that people mainly play this game. 62% of people play on their own. A mixture of all these answers, solo, with a partner and with a posse, was 28.4%. So a mixture of all the above came in at second place there, with a partner and a posse coming in roughly sort of joint third, with the with a partner section just beating it. Next question. What do you do when playing online? This was a multiple answer question, so you could have chosen all 4 of these if it's what you do when you play online. But free roam here, 88.1% of people are just focused on the free roam world. So that is really where I think Rockstar has to put their focus, on the free roam world. And for me, in terms of disconnects, that's where I get my most amount of disconnects and bugs is in the free roam world. To be fair, I'm not surprised that second place is character role content. That is what I'm doing in the free roam world, is the character role content for the most part. And Showdown series there, only 12.9% of people are playing the Showdown series or other matches. That is shockingly low, actually. I didn't think it would be that low. People just clearly are sick of the PvP. There's some real metas that people are exploiting in the game, and they are still present. They've not changed since the beta, some of these mechanics that people are exploiting still. So I'd love to see Rockstar make some changes to the Showdown series and make it really properly competitive. Next question. Now this is sort of understanding exactly how much time people have put into their accounts, how much time they've played the game. What number rank are you on your main account? That bit's just if you had multiple accounts. Just over 600 responses here, and 32.4% of people are between level 101 and 200. Level 300 plus there, 11.5%. That is some serious playtime if you're level over 300. 201 to 300 at 15.5%. That's hefty as well, with between ranks 51 and 100 at 17.8%. So you can see there from this chart, people that are over the rank of 51, that's around 75% of the players. So they've all got a decent amount of playtime there. They understand the game. So I think that helps to bring a bit of validity to the answers and the questionnaire responses. So further in this, trying to get some idea of what level people are in their roles. Hopefully this sort of makes us understand exactly which one people are favouring of the 4 roles that are in the game at the moment. I think the 4 of these results are best seen next to each other, so we can really make a comparison against all of them. You can see here that the main one that people have maxed out at level 20 is the collector role at 71.5%, and the lowest here is the moonshiner role, which isn't surprising at 52.5%, because that is the most recent role that Rockstar released, with 21% of people that answered this survey not even unlocking that role yet. I do find it interesting though that before all these roles came out, the bounty hunter seemed to be the one that everyone was most excited about, because that is the sort of fighting, more sort of the outlaw style of gameplay that we're expecting from Red Dead. That's why everyone thought that that would be the number 1 role. But as you can see, that's actually in 3rd place in terms of popularity, if you're basing that on the amount of people that have maxed the character role out. So in these next questions, I added a write your own answer section. So those big white chunks that you can see out of these pie charts, those are the people that have written their own responses to these questions. So I'll read some of those out. It would take me hours to go through every single one, so I'll just pick out a few. Which best describes what you think about the content of Red Dead Online? So 27.5% of people say that the content here is good. That is the winner here. The satisfactory comes in 2nd place with 22.9%. So good or satisfactory is the majority of results here. Just 6.8% of people think that the content on Red Dead Online is brilliant, with very good coming in at 15.8%. So I'd say probably good and above is what Rockstar are really after. Brilliant, of course, is what they're after, but I think they satisfy themselves with good and above. But 11.4% of people think that the content is poor, with very poor and unacceptable coming after that. Unsurprisingly, this is a very mixed bag about what people think about the content of Red Dead Online. You can see there that it's pretty good / satisfactory. That is the overwhelming amount of responses we've had for this, which, to be fair, with the amount of people that have heard complaining about this, be it on Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere like that, that doesn't really surprise me, if I'm being honest. For this question, some of the extra answers. I love the content, but the camp bugs make it hard for me to enjoy it. The roles have been decent, but max out too quickly, so there's not enough stuff to do within these roles. It could be brilliant, but glitches, bugs, and disconnects make it a nuisance to play. So there's just a few of some of the extra answers that we got for this question. Moving on to the next question, which of the below best describes the communication from Rockstar regarding updates / news? Now this is where you see the results really shift the other way, with poor being the number 1 answer here and unacceptable being the 2nd placed answer. You've also got very poor there at 20.2%. A lot of people are indifferent at around 18%. But you can see there a big chunk, over about 65% of people think that it is either unacceptable, poor, or very poor, which is really not where Rockstar want to be. And we know that they've got communication issues. They don't tell us stuff that's going to happen in the future. They don't tell us what they've done in terms of these secret little updates that they do. So you can understand why people are a little bit frustrated by the quality of their communication. So for this question, a few more answers that we got for this one were Rockstar only respond if I'm missing gold bars, but nothing about game bugs. They always tell us at some point what's going on, but it takes way too long. And quite a few people here said that they don't pay attention to the communication from Rockstar. I suppose that puts them in the indifferent section. Next question. As a player, how valued do you feel by Rockstar? The first option here, very, just got 4.6%. So only 4.6% of people that answered this survey feel very valued by Rockstar. The winner in this category is not very. So people don't feel very valued by Rockstar. And that probably ties in quite nicely with the communication issues in the last question. So for this question, some of the extra answers we got, let's read the top one that's there. In my odd question, in my opinion, I enjoy the game and I feel it's far less microtransaction / grind heavy than GTA Online. Feels easier to earn gold and money without paying and without nearly as much tedium. The next one that's popped up at the top here. I am a cash cow that refuses to pay and therefore worthless and disadvantaged. That's a very strong opinion to have. And yeah, fair enough. Next one. I think this is not important. Fair enough. And then someone else said, not at all, because they literally don't do shit for high levels. As you can see from one of our earlier questions about the amount of people that are very high levels, there are a lot of us out there. There's loads of people that are over level 100, over level 200 and 300. So it would be great to see some sort of recognition for those players that are still sticking with the game and are being loyal to Red Dead Redemption and Rockstar, ultimately. So on to the next question. This is an optional one I put in there. What additional features do you feel would enhance the world of Red Dead Online? Now we got loads of answers here, 400 to be exact. And the common themes here are bug fixes, animal spawns, more roles, more fun content, own a house, a heist mode, and the main one that kept coming up was 0 disconnects. Then on to the next question. Is there anything you'd like to add regarding the above questions? And as you can see here, not really. It seems like a lot of people were maybe satisfied with what questions were above. Some nice people in there saying have a good day and stuff like that, which I appreciate. I haven't seen any insults yet, but I'm sure they're in here. Some people saying that they still love the game, which of course loads of people do. Some people saying that there should be some more story mode questions, which yeah, fair enough, I understand that. I think the main focus for me with this survey was with a focus on Red Dead Online. Of course, we want to see more story mode content, but they probably see that as almost like a package, an untouchable package, you know? They've created this amazing thing here with the story mode, so why would they go back and change any of that? Whereas with the online mode, they've got, you know, that whole world to play with and adapt and change at their will. So, you know, there's the more sort of intrigue personally for me in the Red Dead Online side of things than there is with the story, as soon as that for me I think is set in stone. So moving on to the last two questions, which were just a bit of a demographic thing really. What gender are you? And the majority, which is not surprising to be fair based on my YouTube analytics as well, is 82.3% male and 13.3% female, with the rest of the guys making up the other category and prefer not to say. And how old are you? The majority of people were 18 to 24, which is interesting. My demographic actually is around this age, so maybe not that surprising actually. 25 to 34 coming in second place, and 13 to 17 and 35 to 44 coming in at around 15% each. So there you go, that is all the responses that we got for the Red Dead Redemption 2 player survey. If you'd like to get a copy of the results of this survey, then please let me know on Twitter. You can contact me there at JmCooKieYT, and I'll send you over the link to the responses, or I'll download it and send it to you, whatever Google Sheets does, whatever their best practice is. And was there anything here that really shocked you, or was it basically what you were expecting? For me, what I thought was actually most shocking really was the little amount of people that are playing the Showdown series. Now, I really went off it, and I sort of assumed that a lot of people may have done as well because of the problems with it. But to see around 12% of people, just 12% of people playing that side of Red Dead Online, that really surprised me. Let me know what you thought about this video as a whole. And of course, like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll speak to you again very soon. I'm JmCooKie. Cheers.